Hey guys, and welcome to another transfer update. Like I said in my last video, I was going to be doing these twice a week running up to the end of the transfer window. So I'm not going to mess around today because you want to get into it, you want to see what's happening in the transfer market. So let's get into the transfer rumours straight away. So the first player we are going to be going with is going to be Kennedy from Chelsea. Went on loan to I think it was Watford last year. Didn't really get much game time there, unfortunately. But obviously, like I said, he's played for Chelsea. And apparently Newcastle want him on loan. Chelsea want him out of the club because apparently on social media when they were out in China or one of the Asian countries, apparently he said something racial about that country wherever they were in. So apparently they want him out of the club. So it looks like he could be going out on loan. If not going on loan, then probably with permanent transfer. But yeah, it does look like they want him out of the club and Newcastle want him. So it'd be a good move all around basically. And he is a pretty good player. He is still young. He is only 20 years old, maybe 21, around that anyway. He's a very good player. He's pretty quick. He's pretty strong. He's one of these tricky wingers again. Obviously Brazilian, one of them players, one of them tricky players. So could be one Newcastle after seeing they want some new signings and they've got people that they want in. So could be a pretty good signing from, to be honest. So be interesting to see if that does happen. But if it does happen, I think it'd be a good transfer all the way around. Like I said, it will look like it's going to be a loan deal though. So next one we're going to go with is going to be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Everyone knows that. His contract is up at the end of the season. Obviously he plays for Arsenal. There are quite a few clubs after him. There are likes of Liverpool, Tottenham. Man United at one point were thinking about it. But the latest club to be actual offer for him, apparently they've offered 25 million, is Chelsea. Now whether this actually comes or not, I don't actually think it will. I think he'll stay there this season. And maybe just think about wait until like January, then see if he does get a game time or something like that. Then if he hasn't got the game time, then he probably will move on. Obviously it'd be a free transfer to someone. So if he does leave Arsenal, it will be a massive play to lose. Obviously they got the likes of Ozil, Sanchez, Cazorla. They've got a few other players as well with contract running out at the end of the season. But I think Sanchez will be going. Oxlade-Chamberlain maybe as well. It'd be a dicey one to see, but like I said, he'll probably wait till about January time. See if he is getting a game time that he wants to get, and if not, then he'll just leave on the summer for a free transfer, so he can go wherever he wants really. But there are reports that Chelsea have offered about 25 million for him, but like I said, I don't think it will actually happen, but it'd be interesting one to keep an eye out just in case anyway. So next one we're going to go with is going to be Sam Clucas. Does play for Hull, obviously in the Premiership last season with them. He does want to move back into the Premiership, and there are reports that Burnley are after him. Obviously they just sold Andre Gray to Watford for about 18 million, I think. Whether that's all up front or in add-ons, I don't know for that one, but he's gone to Watford. So Burnley got quite a bit of money enough to spend. They want to spend it on a couple of players. I think they want to get about 3 players in with that money. So Sam Clucas is one they do want to get. Newcastle were interested in him about a week or so ago. They had a bid rejected. Apparently Hull want about 10 million for him. He's not a bad player, but he is 26 now, or coming up to 26 anyway. So he should really be in the prime of life. He should be like right in form where he should be. But he's one of these players who's in and out of the team last season with Hull. He's kind of a left back, come left midfield. I don't really know what his best position is, but he's a decent player. He is one of them players that Burnley would go for, to be honest. One of them hard-working players. So it could seem that someone like Bournemouth or Burnley, like I said. But like one of them clubs where they try and keep it British and they get like average players and like somehow bring them on to be like really good players. So someone like that would fit in like a Bournemouth or a Burnley. But like I said, Burnley are after him. So that'd be one that I think could happen. Maybe like next week. But yeah, that's one to keep an eye on. I think that will happen. So we're going to stick with the Championship at the moment. It's going to be Ben Gibson. Obviously he plays for Middlesbrough at the moment. There are rumours that Man City were looking at him. I can't really see that ever happening, but there are rumours that West Brom want him. They have had 2 bids rejected apparently for him. About 15 million and 20 million. Apparently Middlesbrough want about 25 million plus. I think it's a bit too much for him, to be honest. He's a decent player. But if you're looking at some of the players who've gone like for bigger money, like Michael Keane for 30 million, I think Michael Keane is quite a bit better than someone like Ben Gibson is. He's a decent defender, don't get me wrong, but the likes of money like 30, 25 million. I think that's a bit too much for him. He's probably about 15 million player, but obviously the transfer market going a little bit nuts at the moment. But yeah, West Brom do want to. I think they want to get some cover in. I think Olsen is going or is gone. I'm not quite sure with that one. So I think they want like a backup player. Like I did say to you in the last video, or it might be the one before that. The West Brom were after Kieran Gibbs, couldn't get him, and they're out after Vermaelen as well. So they do want some defensive players. So this one I think will happen eventually, but depending on how much money they can get for it. So we're moving back into the Premiership again, and it's going to be a left back for Tottenham. It's going to be Danny Rose, currently out injured at the moment, but he's been on radio talking about Tottenham, saying he might want to move. He's not going to actually put a transfer request and like force a move anyway, but he said he might move because he's at 27 years old now. He said he wants to be winning trophies and stuff like that. There are rumours that Chelsea and Man United are after him. Wouldn't actually surprise me if one of them do go for him and he does end up going, but it all depends how much they want for him, to be honest, because they just saw Kyle Walker for 50 million. If they want 50 million for Danny Rose, I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think he's not that he's not a good player, just he's not worth 50 million. He's one of these players, again, who's probably worth about 25 to 30 million, but if you're looking at the transfer market, like I said, at the moment with the prices going nuts, if Ben Gibson's going for 25 million, then Rose is going to be going for about 40, but realistically, Rose is probably worth about 25 million. But like I said, it'd be interesting to see what happens if Chelsea do want to go for him, or if Man United do go for him. They both seem to want to get a player in at the left back or right back. They want a defensive player, so it does seem like they want him. And he has said, like I said, he does want to go and win trophies somewhere. If it's not with Tottenham, he has to go, but he's not going to put a transfer request in, so they're going to get him on the cheap. So be interesting to see if that does happen. I personally think it's not going to happen. He'll stay there this season, maybe next season go, but yeah, I can't see this one happen. So we are going to stay in the Premiership, and it's going to be a young player. It's going to be Lewis Baker. Might not know him that much unless you're a Chelsea fan. He is a youngster for him. He went to, I think, with Vitesse or something like that in the Dutch league. I think it's Vitesse. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I apologise. But there are reports that Middlesbrough want to sign him on loan. To be honest, I can't really tell you much about this player. I've never really seen him. I've seen him once or twice playing like a couple of years ago when he had a couple of substitute appearances. But to be honest, I can't really tell you much about him. But it won't surprise me if he does go on loan to Middlesbrough. You know, Chelsea got a lot of good young players. Like Loftus-Cheek has gone to Crystal Palace, but something like this it probably will happen, to be honest. So sorry I can't give you a lot of information about him. I just don't know a lot about this guy. He is 20, I think he's 21, 22 maybe. So yeah, it won't surprise me if he does go on loan to something like Middlesbrough, get first in football again like he did last season. Maybe there's a permanent signing in there at some point, but yeah, that will happen, I think. So we're going to go into the Portuguese league, and it's going to be William Carvalho. He's been linked with a Premiership move for probably the last 5 to 6 years, to be honest. He's been linked with Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal, Man City, West Brom. He's been linked with near enough everyone. But at the moment, reports are coming out that West Ham have actually made a 25 million bid for him. It'd be a very good signing for him, don't get me wrong. But I think he's better than playing there somewhere like West Ham. I honestly think he could do a really good job playing for like some Man United or Arsenal or Chelsea. No disrespect against West Ham, I do like West Ham, they're a good club and made some good signings with Arnautovic, Hernandez, but I just don't think Carvalho will want to go to them. Like, he's with Sporting Lisbon. I don't know whether they're actually in the Champions League or in the Europa Cup or something like that. I don't know if they actually qualified, but I'm likely they did. But I just think this player is a little bit better than going to a mid-table team in the Premiership. So this one I don't think will happen. If it does happen, I'll be very surprised. I'd love to see him come over into the Premiership. He's a very, very good player, very strong player. I just can't see this one happen. Like I said, if it does happen, great. Great signing for West Ham, good for the Premiership, but I just can't see it happening, unfortunately. So we're going to stick in the Portuguese league as well for this one. It's going to be Talisco. He did sign for Besiktas on a 2-year loan deal, but apparently Man United want to sign him. And apparently he's got 25 million release clause, and apparently Man United did. I don't know whether this is true, so like I said, take these with a pinch of salt. These are all rumours, but apparently they've had 25 million bid accepted. I know Mourinho was interested in him early in the season or early in the transfer market, He was very interested. He does want to try and get someone in that left position. What it seems like, obviously being linked with Bale and Perisic, but apparently they're not coming now. And his second choice or third choice is going to be Talisca. Like I said, he's got 25 million release clause, and apparently Man United have said we'll pay the 25 million to try and get him in. Apparently terms have been agreed. I personally don't think it has been yet. I think it'd be a good play if we do actually get him in. I don't actually know that much about him, if I'm being totally honest. I've never really seen him play, apart from like 1 or 2 games again. But he looks pretty good, to be honest. He is only 21, 22. He is only 22, so it's a decent age as well. Obviously he's Brazilian. He's one of these flair players again. He kind of plays in the whole of midfield. He can play left, right, centre, in that little cannon ball. So really a decent play if you do get him in, especially for £25 million. So I know Mourinho is interested in getting someone in the left midfield position, like I said, so wouldn't be a big surprise if he does go and get him. So the last player in the Portuguese league that we're going to be looking at is going to be Andre Carrillo. He's one of these players I know nothing about, so I can't really tell you a lot about him. All I can do is looking at his FIFA card at the moment. He's got 91 pace, so he looks like one of these pasty players, and he's got 82 dribbling. So does look like he's one of these tricky, quick players again. He does play on the right midfield or right wing. Like I said, I can't really say a lot about him. He does play for Benfica, and he is being linked with a move to Watford. Apparently there's been quite a few clubs after him. Southampton and Crystal Palace been looking at him. So it'll be interesting to see if he does go to the Premiership, seeing as Benfica only signed him last season, but apparently he's had a really bad pre-season and they wanted to get rid of him. So yeah, I can't really tell you a lot about this guy, so I apologize about that, guys. So we'll have to just move on to the next player. So the next player we're going to go with is going to be Escudero. I don't know a lot about him again, guys. I apologize. A lot of these players that I don't really know a lot about, so I apologize about this. But Escudero, he plays for Club Brugge. Apparently he is going to Brighton for £13 million. A fee is being agreed. Personal terms are being agreed. Just whether he passes medical or not, that is all wrapped up and done. Apparently he's just got to do his medical. So he's going to be going to Brighton on, I think it's like a 4 or 5 year contract for £13 million. He looks like a good player if you look on FIFA. He's one of these players who, again, like a lot of these South American players, they're flair players, pacey, tricky players. So for Brighton to be signing someone like this, it's going to be a good sign, I think. He's only 24. He's been voted the best player in Belgium the last 3 years in a row. And he's getting in the team of the season and stuff like that. So he looks like a good player. I can't really say a lot about him. Like I said, I don't know much about him. But yeah, he is going to be signing for Brighton, so that should be happening today. So the last player we're going to be doing is going to be Luciano Vitello. I think I pronounced it right. If I didn't, I apologise. He does play for Atletico Madrid. He did have a loan season at Sevilla last season, where he didn't do that great. Apparently, he only scored like 4 goals in about 12 or 13 appearances. So he didn't do that great there. They don't want to sign him on a permanent. And obviously with Atletico Madrid banned at the moment, they can't actually buy players. So apparently they do want to get rid of 1 or 2 players to try and get a bit of money and try and get Diego Costa in, obviously in January. Or at least try and sign him now and then register him in January because of the transfer ban. But apparently Vitello is going to be coming to the Premiership, and again, Southampton want to sign him. Obviously with a new manager coming from the Spanish league, he's actually seen it quite a lot, so maybe that's going to happen. I'm not sure if it really will happen or not. This one's kind of come out of nowhere. I know they want to get a striker in, but will this one happen? I'm not sure. He is a very good striker though, even though he hasn't had a great time the last couple of years in Spain with Atletico Madrid and Sevilla. He is a decent player. He's still quite young as well. He's only 23, well, coming up to 23 anyway. And he's a decent player. He's one of these tricky players yet again, like a lot of the South American players are. He's not the quickest of players, but his finishing is pretty good, even though he only got 4 goals in the last like 12 to 14 games. But he is a decent player, so it'll be interesting to see if this one does happen. Like I said, this one's come out kind of nowhere, so I'm not really sure if it will happen, but it will be an interesting one to see if Southampton do actually sign him. It'll be a pretty good signing for him. So if that is going to be it for today's transfer rumours update. I was going to live stream this tonight, but with the Arsenal West Ham game being on tonight, I want to kind of watch that one, see what happens in that game. So fortunately, it's not going to be a live stream, it's obviously a video for you guys. Hopefully I can do another update on Monday or Tuesday, and then another one next Friday. And hopefully I can get a live stream in on Sunday, hopefully with something. Don't know what yet, but something. Hopefully I can do something on Sunday. If not, then obviously I'll come back with a video on Monday or Tuesday. Like I said, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the football this weekend. Nice to have it all back. So if you did enjoy the video, then hit that like button. If you are new around here, hit the subscribe button, much appreciated. And like always, if you did enjoy the video, hit the dislike button. Let me know why in the comments so I can improve on other videos. And I'll catch you all next week. See ya.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super